Welcome back to Deep Dive. So, our mission here, pretty simple. We take all those sources. You've got articles, maybe research notes, and we just, pull out the absolute must-know stuff. Think of it like your fast track to really getting it, with those interesting bits and aha moments that actually stick. Today, we're doing a deep dive into mastering TikTok ads for brand growth. And this isn't just about chasing trends. It's about, how to actually use what makes TikTok unique to get real results for your business. We've waded through a ton of material covering, everything from the big picture strategy right down to the nitty-gritty creative side.
Yeah, and it's definitely the right time to talk about this. TikTok it's really shaken up the whole social media scene. It's not just some niche app anymore. You've got over 1 billion active users. It's a huge stage for marketing, especially if you want to connect with, Gen Z and millennials. And that algorithm, the For You page, it offers this potential for incredible reach, even if you're a brand just starting out.
That organic reach potential is, it's massive.
Yeah.
But for brands that are serious about scaling and doing it quickly and reliably, paid ads are pretty essential, right?
Right.
Alongside the organic stuff. And the sources we looked at bring up a really key point early on. For those paid ads to really work well, you need a strong, credible profile to back them up. Building that sort of initial base of real engagement helps your ads perform better and pull in more organic interest too. For anyone looking to get that initial boost quickly, there are resources like rapidboost.net that specialize in delivering authentic profile boosts. It can help profiles scale faster and maybe reach wider audiences while the ad campaigns get going.
Exactly. It's like having a solid foundation for your house before you invite everyone over with paid traffic. So, okay, let's really get into what the sources say about building that strong base first and then running campaigns that actually hit the mark.
Okay, sounds good. Let's maybe unpack the why a bit more first.
Yeah.
So beyond just the sheer number of users, what makes TikTok so different, so important for brands right now?
Well, the absolute core difference is that For You page algorithm, unlike, say, other platforms that lean heavily on who you already follow, TikTok pushes content based almost purely on interest.
Interest, okay.
Yeah, so that means really good, engaging content, even if it's from a tiny creator or a totally new brand, could, potentially blow up overnight. That kind of democratized reach, it's powerful.
So you don't necessarily need a huge following right out of the gate to get seen. On the For You page, anyway.
No, not necessarily. And tied to that reach is just, wow, the engagement. The materials we reviewed, they highlight users spending an average of 95 minutes a day on the app.
95 minutes, that's a lot of attention.
It's huge mind share.
Yeah.
And this audience, mostly Gen Z, millennials, they're the consumers really shaping what's next.
And what about those Kantar stats? Those are pretty interesting. Like 72% of users finding ads inspiring and 61% trusting brands they see on TikTok. That kind of flips the old script about people hating ads, doesn't it?
It really does, and it brings up this critical question the sources explore. How do you actually make ads that feel like part of the platform, part of that trusted content, and not just, annoying sales pitches?
Right.
And that's exactly where getting the groundwork right becomes so important.
Absolutely. So, okay, before you even dream of hitting record on a video, what are the absolute must-dos, the non-negotiables for setting yourself up for success?
Clarity. First and foremost, you absolutely have to define super clear campaign goals and your key performance indicators, your KPIs.
Okay.
Like, what are you actually trying to achieve? Is it just getting your name out there awareness, driving people to your website, getting app installs, more followers? Or is it direct sales, conversions, your goal shapes, everything else? The sources really hammer home the SMART framework here.
Yeah.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. So, a concrete goal isn't just more followers. It's maybe gain 500 new TikTok followers in the next 30 days using paid ads. Specific.
Okay, so get really clear on the what and how much. Then who are you actually trying to talk to?
Exactly. Pinpointing your target audience is step 2. TikTok's ad platform, the self-serve one, it gives you pretty powerful tools for this. You can segment by age, gender, location, interests, even specific behaviors inside the app, what device they're using. The recommendation we saw was to start by looking at your own TikTok analytics, if you have them. See who's already engaging with your organic stuff.
Makes sense.
And building out those audience personas, that helps you really visualize who you're creating for. Then you can use things like lookalike audiences to find more people similar to your best customers. It's efficient for scaling.
Got it. Goals are clear, audience is defined. Now, especially for anyone focusing on, say, sales or signups, there's a technical piece that's just absolutely essential, isn't there?
Oh, totally non-negotiable if you care about conversions. Setting up the TikTok pixel and your event tracking.
A pixel.
Yeah, it's this little bit of code you put on your website or in your app. It tracks what people do after they click your ad. So it's vital for things like retargeting people who visited but didn't buy. But maybe even more importantly, it lets TikTok's algorithm optimize your campaigns. It learns who's most likely to actually do the thing you want them to do, like add to cart or fill out a form. You need to set up those specific custom events to track what really matters.
So the pixel isn't just like counting clicks. It's actively feeding information back to TikTok to make the ads run better.
Precisely. That's what really unlocks the ability for TikTok campaigns to go beyond just eyeballs and actually drive, bottom line results.
Right. Okay. So once that foundation,
Yeah.
the goals, audience tracking is solid, you need to pick the right type of ad, right? The sources laid out a few different formats.
Yeah, definitely not a one-size-fits-all situation there. Probably the most common one you see is the in-feed ad. These just show up kind of seamlessly as people are scrolling their For You feed, so they're really good for general brand awareness, getting engagement.
And the guidance there seems to be things like hook people super fast, like the first 2-3 seconds. Use that full-screen vertical video, the 9.16 ratio. Use trending sounds. Clear calls to action, visually and in the text. That Gymshark case study was impressive. Using in-feed ads, they got like a 280% jump in brand mentions.
Yeah, that really shows how powerful it is when you blend in effectively. Now, if you want like maximum immediate impact, there's top view ads.
Ah, right. Those are the ones that are literally the first thing you see when you open the app.
Exactly. Right at the very top. Unmissable placement. They can be longer too, up to 60 seconds.
So the sources suggested these are probably best for like big product launches or really broad awareness campaigns, and they probably cost a bit more.
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
Higher budget typically. And the key there is bold visuals right away. You have that prime spot, grab their attention immediately with something compelling, tell a quick story.
Okay, then for getting the community involved.
Branded hashtag challenges. These are super powerful for driving user-generated content, or UGC. Basically, you create a challenge, give it a hashtag, and invite users to make their own videos doing the challenge. TikTok features these on the Discover page.
Like that guess hashtag in my denim thing. The report said that they got, 5,500 user videos, 38 million views in less than a week? That's nuts. That's really using the community.
Totally. It works because it taps into that interactive, fun side of TikTok. Make the challenge easy, make the hashtag memorable. Often brands will partner with influencers to kind of kickstart the momentum.
Makes sense.
Another really interactive option is branded effects. Think custom AR filters, stickers, special lenses that users can actually play with and put in their own video.
So the users become part of spreading the brand element. Those can definitely go viral.
Huge potential for that. And then finally, there's a format that kind of bridges organic and paid. Spark ads.
Spark ads. Okay, how do those work?
They let you basically boost existing organic TikTok videos, either your own top performing ones or maybe content created by a partner or an influencer you worked with.
Very interesting.
And the huge advantage is that it keeps all the original social proof. All the likes, the comments, the shares, they stay with the ad.
So it feels more authentic, maybe? Because it's content that already proved itself organically.
Exactly that. You find something's already working, add your call to action, your link, and just pour some budget behind it to amplify the reach. It's a really smart way to leverage successful creator stuff.
Okay, this leads us right into what all the sources seem to agree was maybe the most crucial piece of the puzzle. The actual creative. It's not just about buying the ad space.
Oh, absolutely not. Creative execution is like everything on TikTok. You can't just take your polished TV ad or even your slick Instagram ad and expect it to work here. The guidance consistently is embrace the TikTok aesthetic.
The TikTok aesthetic, what does that really mean in practice?
It means leaning into styles that feel native, feel authentic to the platform. So think people talking directly to the camera, quick jump cuts, using text overlays creatively. Definitely humor if it fits your brand, using trending sounds.
Right. Showing real people, maybe unfiltered moments, less polish, more real.
Exactly. It should feel less like a traditional advertisement and more like, just good TikTok content that someone would actually choose to watch. And the sources kept saying, show, don't tell.
Yeah, I saw that a lot.
Demonstrate the value visually. Quickly. Show your product solving a problem, show a cool hack, a transformation, take people behind the scenes, use real customer testimonials, make it visual, and definitely keep an eye on trends and trending sounds. Participate, but, add your own brand's twist. Don't just copy mindlessly, contribute something unique.
And the call to action, the CTA, needs to be super clear, right?
Right.
And maybe woven in, not just stuck at the very end.
Precisely. Make it obvious on screen. Make the caption compelling. So instead of just a boring shop now, maybe try something like tap here for a secret discount or swipe up to see how.
More energy.
Yeah. And remember those mobile attention spans? They're short. The sweet spot for video length seems to be somewhere in that 10 to 25-second range typically.
Right, quite great.
Get your main message in upfront. Use visuals that are going to make someone stop scrolling. Every second counts.
Okay, and another thing the sources really emphasized was working with creators.
Oh, hugely valuable. And not just for getting your message out there for distribution, but actually for coming up with the ideas, for concept creation.
Because they get the platform.
They live and breathe it. They know the culture. They know what works, what feels right. Collaborating with them, especially maybe micro-influencers who have these really engaged niche audiences, can give you a level of authenticity and trust that's frankly hard to replicate with traditional ads. That ELF Cosmetics example is a great one. They use strategic partnerships with micro-influencers, and it apparently fueled both sales and a ton of user-generated content. Win-win.
Right. Okay, so you got your strategy nailed down, you know your audience, you picked your format, you've got amazing native style creative. How do you actually manage these campaigns? How do you optimize them to make sure they're, working?
Yeah, this is where you get into TikTok's ad manager and start pulling those levers for targeting, budgeting, and optimization. So beyond the basics like age and location, you've got more advanced tactics. Things like interest-based targeting, behavioral targeting, which looks at what users actually do in the app, like what videos they watch or engage with. You've got custom audiences.
That's using your own data, like customer lists or website visitors from the Pixel.
Exactly. Uploading customer lists using that pixel data, and then building lookalike audiences off those custom audiences to find similar people and scale things up effectively.
So layering those targeting options smartly is key to hitting the right people. What about the money side? Budgeting.
Smart budget allocation, yeah, it's crucial. The advice seems to be start relatively small. Maybe a test budget of, say, $50 or $100 per ad group.
Per ad group, okay.
Yeah, let the algorithm have some room to learn and figure things out. The key is to watch the data closely and then shift your spend towards the creative and audience combinations that are actually hitting your goals best. You can set daily budgets or lifetime budgets for the campaign.
And how do you actually figure out what's performing best? Is it just guesswork?
Oh, definitely not guesswork. A/B test everything, relentlessly.
A/B testing, okay.
Test different creative angles, that initial hook, the caption, the call to action you use, the music, different visuals, test it all. But also test different audience segments against each other.
So not just testing the ad itself, but testing who you show it to.
Exactly. You might find one video works great with one interest group, but tanks with another. Even small tweaks based on that A/B test data can make a huge difference as the algorithm optimizes.
Got it. Test, test, test.
And think about optimizing for the whole funnel, not just the initial click or view. The sources talked about using retargeting ads, right? Showing specific ads to people who maybe visited your site from a TikTok ad but didn't buy anything.
Right, bring them back.
Yeah, maybe layer in a special offer for them. And also, remember that point about multi-touch attribution. TikTok might not always be the last click before a sale, but it often plays a big role earlier in the journey, influencing conversions that happen later, maybe on your website directly or through search.
That's a really important perspective, especially if you're trying to see the whole customer journey across different touch points. Which leads perfectly into measurement. How do you actually know if all this effort is paying off?
Yeah, you absolutely have to analyze the data. It's the only way to improve. The key metrics that kept coming up were things like impressions and reach, basically, how many people saw your ad, engagement rate, likes, comments, shares, clicks, your click-through rate, or CTR, how often people actually click the link,
Oh, yeah.
and then crucially, your conversion rate, how often those clicks turn into the action you wanted, like a sale or a sign-up. And tied to that, your cost per action, or CPA, how much did each of those desired actions actually cost you?
And TikTok's own analytics dashboard gives you all that, broken down by demographics, location, device. And pulls in the pixel data too.
Exactly. It gives you those real-time breakdowns so you can see what's working, where, and with whom. Combining that dashboard data with maybe UTM parameters on your links or more sophisticated attribution tools can help you get that fuller multi-touch picture of TikTok's real impact.
So the big takeaway message here is
Mm.
measure constantly, learn from what you see, adapt your strategy, and just keep iterating.
100%. Treat every single campaign like it's an ongoing experiment. You should be looking at your data, well, probably weekly at a minimum, maybe even daily for bigger campaigns. Be ready to tweak your targeting, swap out creative that's starting to fade, shift your budget around based on performance. The platform moves fast. Your strategy has to keep up.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So for someone listening who's ready to jump in or maybe refine their approach, what are those absolute core actionable steps we can distill from everything we've discussed?
Okay, step 1. Get the technical foundation solid. Set up your TikTok for Business account and definitely install that TikTok pixel correctly. Step 2. Be laser focused on your objective. What do you want to achieve and how will you measure success? Define those KPIs. 3. Map out your ideal audience. Use TikTok's targeting tools, do your research, build those personas. 4. Choose the right ad format, in-feed, top view, hashtag challenge, whatever fits your specific goal and budget. 5. Put serious effort into the creative. Make it feel native, authentic, engaging. Hook 'em early. Show, don't just tell. 6. Start with A/B testing. Don't just test different creatives. Test different audiences, even with a small budget initially. 7. Monitor those key metrics like a hawk using the analytics dashboard. Understand what the numbers are telling you. And 8. Learn, adapt, iterate. Constantly. Optimize based on the data. Don't just set it and forget it.
And it sounds like the consensus from the material is pretty clear. Combining these smart paid ad strategies with really strong organic efforts, posting consistent native content, engaging with your community, working with creators, that's where you really unlock that kind of exponential growth potential.
Absolutely. In the end, getting good at TikTok ads isn't just about knowing the technical settings in the ad manager. It's much more about understanding the platform's culture, really leaning into creativity, and figuring out how to build genuine connections with people through your content. The ads that feel native, the ones that are interactive, the ones that actually offer some value or entertainment, those are the ones that win on TikTok.
Yeah, it really seems like with that open algorithm, giving content a chance based on merit, the super high user engagement, and just the sheer buying power of Gen Z and millennials, TikTok offers this pretty unique window for brands right now. But you have to approach it right. Treat those campaigns less like just spending money and more like, creative, data-driven experiments. So maybe here's a final thought to chew on as we wrap up. As platforms like TikTok get more mature and as ad strategies become increasingly sophisticated and data optimized, how does that idea of authenticity itself change? Can a perfectly targeted, beautifully edited ad still feel truly authentic in the same way that maybe a raw, spontaneous, organic video does? It's definitely something brands are going to have to keep navigating as this landscape keeps evolving.